Hey, Stitch here. Welcome back. Sorry I've been sick for a few weeks with a really bad cold. But hey, let's catch one of those solar flares and jump back again over 3 years to January 29, 2016, when Justin went over what you would think would be a simple SG-1 patch with a very complex history and what goes into designing or redesigning these iconic patches into a work of perfection.
Hey, welcome back to another Let's Talk Props / costume video. Today I want to talk about something I've been meaning to talk about for a while, and that is specifically the Stargate SG-1 patch or badge that you see in the Stargate SG-1 TV show. Now, one of the reasons I've been putting this off to talk about was, collecting my thoughts on it, mostly because, the show had been around for about 10 years, and there was quite a bit of variation over the course of those 10 years of different patches. You may think that they're the same patch all the way through, but there's been subtle variations over the years. Now, this is one of those patches too that when the show first started and when fans started to get together and show, appreciation by creating props and costumes based off of it, there was a lot of misinformation about the actual patches. Again, going by screen caps and, magazines and whatnot and looking really close at some of the things and coming up with a distinctive patch that I'm going to show right here. And as you can see, leaning very heavily on the purple. And I don't know why. The patch is definitely a silver, gray, and black, but whatever happened, this is the patch that was mostly associated with Stargate. So if you were a Stargate fan and you wanted to start out doing cosplay or the costume in general, that's the patch that you would get. Unfortunately, it could have been further off from the mark, and I'm going to show the 4 basic patch designs that made it into the series over the course of its 10 years. Starting with the pilot patch. Now, the pilot patch, as the name says, was first introduced in the pilot. It did show up in subsequent episodes randomly, but for the most part, it was made for the pilot. Now, in the pilot, they had SG-1 and SG-2 patches made using this very distinctive design. Now, this design did show up in other media, and it eventually showed up again later on, but as you're looking here, you can see it has a black number 1. That is probably the defining feature or look of it. There's a couple other little tiny details here and there, and I was able to replicate. This is not a screen use patch. This is a replica patch that I was, involved in making, mostly from photographs from an actual project patch. So we got it very, very close, very, very happy with it. The second patch came out in the second episode, or technically the first series show. After it was fully given the green light, they came out with more patches. And again, SG-1 and SG-2 were used in this regard. I think maybe even SG-3 was. This artwork completely went across the entire series as a whole. You saw it show up on printed material as in the background, labels for canisters, everything. This patch was the patch at the time and is mostly distinguished between the lines, between all the chevron pieces. Again, a very specific patch and 100% embroidered. This one is a screen use patch. I'm very happy to get it. And it's pretty much the starting point from what you see from now on. The other patches that you're gonna see here stem from this one. The next patch, as you can see here, is slightly different. The artwork's a bit cleaned up. You can take a look at how, the overall theme of it is and the overall look, and it's very, very similar. The gaps have been reduced, and it's probably, again, one of the most recognizable ones that you can see. This one has been replicated a number of times from many different patch makers as well. The next one coming up here is a patch that I personally like the best. It's a little bit more contained. Some of the lines are a little bit thicker, but to me, it's my most favorite one. And I know you may be looking at these going, they all look pretty much the same. And you're right, they all do look pretty much the same. As you can see, all 4 here, lots of variation, subtle variation as you go through. All but the pilot patch I have here is screen use, screen accurate, and it's an amazing little piece of history to have. Unfortunately, that purple patch is still seen. I've seen a gray version of it even, but it's just so inaccurate. Even more fun just to show as a side-by-side the Vala patch, pretty much used off of the same original stuff from the beginning too. So SG-1 patch is pretty fun, it's pretty interesting. The replicas that I was involved in making, you can still get at stitchesloft.com, which the link will be in the description where you can purchase them. They go very well with my earth patches that I've talked about in earlier videos, but make sure to check them out. Look at the details. This is the part about prop collecting and details that I absolutely love. You may not notice the differences, but I definitely did. And some of these patches lasted a number of seasons, but most people don't even notice the changeover as it goes. If you have any questions about these though, be sure to ask me in the comments below. I've loved these patches. I've had them for years. I've been working on them for years, so I have lots to share with them, and hopefully this little snippet of the video will help describe that or show that. But ask me if there's any questions that maybe I didn't get to. For now, be sure to check out after this video, and you can check out some other videos that go to other patches, like my Stargate Atlantis patch and my Earth patches, and maybe even the Vala patches. Be sure to check those out. They're, again, a small piece of costuming, but to me, very, very important. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and as always, thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, well that concludes Justin's review of the complex history over the 10 years of one of our favorite patches. I want to thank Justin again for another one of his overviews. He always does such a great job in telling the historical data and showing us great reference material. But remember to always not impulse buy. Do your research before making any purchase. We're always here to answer your questions and support your costuming ideas. Know what options are out there when you're buying costume parts. Many fans do really hard work on their costumes, but often the patches just miss the mark. Unfortunately, most settle unknowingly for just cheap China knockoffs, or for something for only a couple bucks more you can have a patch that looks like you walked right off the set. So who wouldn't want that, right? So remember, even if you're wanting to create your own design or something like that, we can still incorporate that level of accuracy and detail. I once had a ham radio operator who had the letters SGA in his ham radio call sign, but he wasn't a huge Atlantis fan, but he was a huge SG-1 fan. So he contacted me and wanted to do a run of patches, so we did. They came out great. But always remember, if you ever have any accuracy questions, please visit our site, hit that contact button, just fill that out really quick, shoot us your question, even if you're not buying from us and have an accuracy question. Consulting is always free for fans. But again, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, click that little bell notification button. You're notified every time we launch a new video, and as always, we'll talk to you soon.